I don't invest in paper assets. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't. Please hear me. I'm not saying you shouldn't. It's just that I learned something that Kiyosaki taught me a long time ago, and I'm going to share it with you because I think it's very valuable. If you were to go into a bank to borrow money, and they asked you, what do you need the money for? And you said, because I want to invest in the stock market, they would laugh at you and not give you the money. Yet every day we're trained to invest in stocks and bonds and all that stuff. But how come banks won't do it? But I can go to a bank and say, I want to invest in this property. I'm going to turn it into a rental. And they would throw money at me as much as I want, especially if I have a track record for success. Why? Because they look at real property, they look at real estate as that is a real asset. Okay? They see that, and if you don't pay it, they can take that property back. If you go to a bank looking to borrow money for paper assets, there's no security in that. They'll never do that. So we can learn by watching banks, okay, where they loan money and where they don't loan money. All right, so I don't invest in paper assets. To me, I like to be involved. I like to create cash flowing assets that I can control, and that are predictable and that I can control. And remember, always remember this, no matter what you're investing in. You make money when you buy, not when you sell. You make money when you buy, not when you sell. And this is where the majority of investors that I would call average, many of the people would call them average, Richard Branson would call them average, Warren Buffett would call them average, Kiyosaki would call them average, and those are the investors that invest for capital gains. Okay? So that capital gains would be you buying something and expecting it to go up in value so you can sell it. Okay? Most of the capital gains investors they always get wiped out in the crash. But those that invest for cash flow rarely do. All right. So, I don't invest for capital gains either. However, most people do because they are not financially educated. Okay? In the crash, most lost trillions because they invested for capital gains. That's gambling. And here's a good point. They're always worried about the ups and the downs in the market. See, if you were investing for cash flow, you wouldn't be worried about the ups and the downs in the market. Only capital gains investors do. Okay? Now, why am I teaching you this? By now, you guys should know, all right? This is called financial education. And all of this that I'm sharing with you is part of your education so you can hold your own with understanding when you're talking to people about this wonderful industry and about communicating the industry and the brand, right? The brand is Viseo. But I'm also building a bridge here because I'm going to show you why Viseo is better. I'm going to show you why I have been in this industry for 13 years. I'm going to show you why I don't pay for my house, you guys. I don't pay for my car. I don't pay for my groceries. I don't pay for anything because I don't work for a living. I have cash flowing assets, and I found the greatest method of building cash flowing assets through this wonderful industry, through Viseo. And I want you, and I'm teaching you to do the very same thing. Okay? At the end, we'll talk about what the end goal is. But right now, I'm being very specific. Okay? All right, here we go. From last week's training about Monopoly, network marketing, you can see, from last week's training about Monopoly and network marketing, you can see how the method of wealth creation is so much better with much more, okay? With much more control and much less risk. So the reason why I gravitated to this wonderful industry is no trucks, very little inventory, no employees, no warehouses, right? income that through cash flowing assets that grows exponentially, debt free, and taxed at the lowest percentage. That was very, very attractive to me, but it was also because I could teach people that didn't have that much money how to gain wealth. Right? Because the financial education, listen to me now, the financial education will give you the power to gain wealth. It will give you the power to gain wealth because it's giving you the understanding how things work and how to talk about it, how to communicate it with your friends and your prospects. And you can do it with very little money, and most people don't have a lot of money. But they can find a way to have a garage sale and make $1,500 and start a business, get some product, and then get a whole lot of education, learn the rigors of business, and start becoming wealthy, right? If your bills are $5,000 a month and your Visayo business produces $5,000 a month in cash flow, then you no longer work for a living. Does that make sense? Should I say that again? If your bills are $5,000 a month and your organization produces $5,000 a month in passive income, here, guess what? Your $5,000 is meeting your $5,000 need, and you no longer work for a living. Now you're stepping into wealth. Can you see that? Without risk. All right. So the goal is to acquire assets, not income. Focusing on income means working harder and harder to make more money, and maybe one day I'll have enough money so that I won't have to work anymore. So when you focus on earning income, the natural mind and the way we've been programmed in society is to work harder and harder and harder. You're focused on the income. This is what I want you to be focused on. Focus on building assets that produce income. That puts the focus on the asset and not the income. I'm going to read that to you again. Focusing on building assets that produce income puts the focus on the asset, not the income. Right? Can you see that? Can you see what we're doing in Visayo? We're not focused on earning the income. We're not focused on generating the income. You're focused on building the assets that generate the income. Why? Because the asset is the system. The asset is the leverage. The asset is all the work that's being done while you have more and more freedom. That's why I want you to teach people so well that you work yourself right out of a job. Okay? That is the way of wealth. Building a massive... I'm going to close with this, but this is going to be a little bit of a monologue here once I read this. Building a massive cash flowing asset through your network marketing business is not the end goal. Did you guys hear that? Building a massive network marketing organization here is not the end goal. I don't know many seven-figure earners that would have the guts to tell you what I just told you right now. Because why? They want you to stay in that organization as long as humanly possible. Of course, I do too. But again, I operate from a place of abundance, not a place of lack, not a place of poverty or insecurity. All right? I'm here to get you financially educated so you can leverage the capital that you gain, the cash flow that you gain, so you can produce other cash flowing assets. So I'm going to read you this again, because this time you're going to catch it even further. Building a massive cash flowing asset through your network marketing business through Visayo is not the end goal. Using the money/income you earned to apply your financial education you've learned along the way to build other assets is the key. All right, so this is what I'm saying here. The end goal is not to just build a massive multi-million-dollar organization through Visayo. That is what we're building here. But if you stop there, then I have not done my work. I want you to take all the financial education and the cash flow, that tremendous amount of cash flow that you're gaining through your Visayo business, and I want you to take that financial education that you've learned, and I want you to begin to apply it into other cash flowing assets, because now you have the wisdom and you have the knowledge and you have the education to see that it's time to create multiple streams of income, multiple cash flowing assets. Now, listen to me now, every seven-figure earner, every six-figure earner, whoever it was that's on our team right now, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about here. You don't want to have to solely rely on your network marketing organization. You want to have built as much financial freedom as possible around this. Many people pigeonhole themselves into only keeping that as their main source of assets because they think, why do I have to do anything else? Okay? Let me tell you something. When you have that much capital that's coming in, right? You want to start thinking about, okay, how can I take my money and have my money work harder than I do? Okay? You want that. You're talking about a tremendous amount of cash flow. Guys, I made 90 grand last month, okay? So if anyone tells you all these things don't work, they don't understand, okay? And we're just getting started, by the way. We're just getting started. This is nothing, all right? You're going all the way with this. You are going all the way with this. You are going to get to multiple 7-figure earner. You are going to do that. And as that cash flow comes pouring in, I don't want you to hold it. I don't want you to save it like that. I want you to become educated so you have multiple assets that will pay you for long-term financial freedom. That is the end goal, you guys. That is the end goal. And once again, it's a perfect testimony for me to be able to say that. You want to see my heart in Overcome Nation? I just showed it to you. Because there's not many leaders that would ever tell you that. Okay? Because I don't operate from a place of abundance, from a place of poverty. I operate from a place of abundance. I want you to become better than you ever were. And I want you to produce other people that are better than they ever were. I want you to leave people better than when you found them. And that's what Overcome Nation is all about. I love you guys. I hope you enjoyed this training. Bye.